This week on Ask the Professor, Lauren asks, Professor Wolters, do you find students more attentive if they have classes back to back, or if they have a class and then a big gap and then another class afterwards? I'll be honest with you, I find students to be more attentive when they have back-to-back classes on that second class, because the first class got them thinking, got them going. So when they get to their second class, they're hitting the ground running to kind of study and learn more. And it kind of like seems like the information soaks in better. Whereas I also have to say, if it's back to back to back, that's actually bad. By the third class of like an hour and a half, an hour and a half, an hour and a half, 4.5 hours of learning, by the end of that, those students are wiped out and they're not learning as much. So I usually like to tell students to have like 2 classes, then a break, then another class, and that kind of keeps them going because that break energizes them. Now, if you're talking about having like a big break, like you have an 8 a.m. class and a 3 p.m. class, I don't usually see that going very well, because it's almost like they have 2 separate days. And so they have their morning class, they go and they do that and they try to like rev up and do those things, and then they have the rest of their day doing stuff, and they have to rev themselves up again at 4:30 in the afternoon, and it doesn't work as well. It's like they're starting over a whole other day. So I find it better for students and their learning if the classes are relatively closer together. Okay, so Lauren, I hope that helps you understand how the attentiveness and impact is of when your classes are, at least in my experience of teaching. So if you have a question for me or any kind of professor, or professor life or college life, put it in the comment section below so we can answer your questions. And I'll say bye from here in New York City.